Tackle Junkies, what's going on, fellas? What should you invest more money in? Your reel or your rod? Alright guys, before we get into the video, I want to let you guys know, if you didn't see my last video, I had mentioned that Tackle Junkie 81 t-shirts are now available. I do have short sleeves, it's a tri-blend t-shirt, as well as long sleeve performance. I'll drop a link down below if you guys would like to support the channel. Definitely check them out. Alright guys, today's video is going to be based on another subscriber question. And this one comes from my Facebook page. If you guys aren't following me on Facebook or Instagram, give me a follow. I'll link those down below. I talk with you guys like 24/7. You know, on Instagram and Facebook. I'm always on there talking to you guys. So again, hit me up on there if you guys have any questions. Again, or you can just leave comments in the videos as well. I try to answer every comment, every question. Anyways, this one came from Ricky French Jr. on my Facebook. And I believe I did answer this question on my last live stream. Again, I do a Sunday night live, usually around 7 Central Standard Time. So keep a lookout for that. But I usually do those every week. I did miss 2 weeks so far in the last couple months because Easter and we were out to dinner or whatever. But anyways, normally every Sunday I do a live stream. Get back to the question. He said, what's up, man? I meant to ask this in the live feed, but I missed the video. I'm buying a rod and reel combo, but on like a $300 budget. What would you recommend investing more into the rod or reel? Or what would you recommend investing more into, the rod or more into the reel? Also, what kind of scale do you recommend? As far as the scale goes, Ricky, I use the Connect scale, and I do have a link down below for them as well if you guys would like to save a few bucks. But as far as what would I invest more money in, rod or reel? Okay, let's talk the rod first, okay? Now, you guys know that I've been using Okuma rods for quite a few years now. Those rods are not that expensive. The TCS rods that I use are like, what are they, 140, I believe, for the TCS. The EVX are like 109. Now, before that, I was using Dobbins. Now, some of those are pretty expensive. Before that, I was using a lot of Shimano rods. Those ranged from, well, I did use a few Camaros, which were around 200 or so, but the Compre and the, I can't think of the name of the other one, Compre and the Crucial, those were like 110 to 160 or so. So the rods that I used were really never that expensive. Okay, I always put, I guess, more money into the reel, but it wasn't by like I wanted to put more money in the reel. If that makes any sense to you. When I buy a reel, okay, like take the Lew's Pro TI here. I mean, nice looking reel, no doubt. That's one of the first things that I look at when I'm buying a reel. Does it feel good in hand? Okay, and is it a good looking reel? I say that on my 2 last reel reviews that I did on the Lew's Custom and Custom Pro. You know, if it feels good, it looks good, normally I buy it. I mean, that's all I look at on a reel, okay? And if it ends up being a cheaper reel, fantastic. If it's more expensive, well, it is what it is. Okay, so I end up spending more usually on the reel, okay? But that being said, I put more thought into the rod. Okay, again, the reel, it costs what it costs, but the rod is what I put the more thought into, and it just so happens that the rods that I'm buying usually end up being cheaper than the reels, if that makes sense to you guys. But I mean, to me, you fight the fish with the rod, okay? And to be able to cast certain lures, you know, fight fish with certain lures, especially crankbaits, you know, the rod comes into play way more than the reel. Obviously, you want a comfortable reel. You want a reel that's not going to give you, many problems on the water. You know, you want it to cast far. Even if you buy a cheaper reel, you can always upgrade the bearings if you wanted to. But I mean, reels these days are put together pretty well. They all cast pretty well. I mean, the Pro Qualifier that I got for 50 bucks, which retails 100. When I just get the Fuego the other day, I haven't used it yet, but I mean, that's got great reviews as well. The PC Fun reels, those are around 60, 70 bucks. Those have fantastic reviews. Up to the more expensive reels, again, like the Pro TI. I mean, reels these days all cast pretty well. You know, when you click the thumb bar and make the cast, the only thing spinning is the spool. Okay, so obviously you want decent spool bearings and all that, and there are other things that come into play as well. But overall, you know, the reel makes the cast, okay, and then of course you have to retrieve your lure in. So of course you want it to feel good as well. But again, reels these days, I mean, they're all are pretty decent. I know some guys prefer some brands over the other for whatever reason, but again, you know, reels these days are built pretty well. So again, I don't spend a whole lot of time looking at really any specs on a reel. All I do is if it feels good, it looks good, you know, I'm a buyer. Again, I just put way more thought into the rod, just because again, that's what you fight the fish with. You know, you want the right power and action for whatever lure it is that you're throwing, maybe whatever fish that you're targeting, cover that you're fishing around. To me, there's just way more thought put into the rod than the reel. So to answer your question, I usually end up spending more money on the reel just because they're more expensive than a lot of the rods that I'm using, but I put way more thought into the rod I'm going to buy versus the reel. So hopefully that answered your question. I do appreciate the comment, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have some other comments that you would like answered in a video like this, please drop those down below, and we will see you guys on the next one. Again, smash the thumbs up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.